So what's up, everybody? It's your boy AD, your host, and I'm joined here today with
Jailan, J. Autry.
Selena. Hey.
All right, tell them where to find y'all on the ground.
You can find me on Instagram at j.autry. Also, Apple Music, all platforms, Spotify, Tidal, all that good shit. Play to win. It's a hit that stick like grits. Go stream it.
Wow, that said a lot. I'm an introvert, so you can find me nowhere.
More is coming.
You can find me nowhere, but you can find me on his socials.
All right, so what we're going to get into today, we're going to get into a few different topics. So we're going to start off with our thoughts on Beyonce's Renaissance album. So at the time of us recording this, the album has been out for what, like a week?
It's been out for, it came out on the 29th.
The 29th, and it is the 9th of August. So a little bit over a week and some change.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had time to let it marinate in our spirits.
Right.
Okay. And I want to know y'all's thoughts.
I'm going to be honest. It's a good album, but...
I can hear the beehive on the way right now.
Okay.
No, I am in the beehive. So don't nobody come for me.
So there shouldn't be a but.
It is a but. It is a but.
What's the but?
What's the but?
I love Beyonce, but she's not perfect. I love her, but she's and she's not perfect. What I mean by that is that she's a human. She says she's not perfect all the time. She wants people to stop believing that she's perfect. So with that being said, I love the album front to back, top to bottom. There are songs that I just cannot connect with.
Like?
Energy.
See?
Really?
I don't like Energy because how did it start again?
It starts off with like the beat is kind of like the same from Cuff It at the end. They kind of like blend into each other.
Sing Cuff It. I'm not being for real. I'm not. No, legit. I listened to the album front to.
He said he's in the hive.
Okay,
y'all.
and listen,
Edit that.
I'm not a Beyonce stan like that. But I do appreciate her music, and I've listened to her songs. I do like it. I feel like there's just expectation coming from her that is just like, could it have been better?
I'm gonna be honest. Back to Energy. And I'm just kidding about what I said earlier, but like back to Energy, it started off like an Afro beats type of sound, and then it was like Big Frida, and I was like, all right, hold on, what's going on? Am I making sense?
I don't think so, because I don't think you remember the song like that. Because it was definitely not giving Big Frida, in my opinion. I mean, but hey, that's your opinion. But I've been playing the album out, and I will agree with that. There are some tracks that you're going to connect to more so than others. It's very hard in 2022 or any year to have an album full of songs that you like every song.
So let me go ahead and say the songs that I actually do like.
Top.
I'm That Girl, Alien Superstar, All Up in Your Mind, America Has a Problem.
You know what? That's very fitting for you.
Yeah.
Those song choices.
Yeah, they are.
It fits you.
I like pop stuff.
Exactly.
I like pop music. I like all of that. So like anything that sounds experimental or like something that's completely like out of the norm, I'm already attached to it because it sounds different. And I'm like, all right, this isn't typical hip hop. This isn't typical like R&B sounding, So that's kind of my connection to those songs. But the rest of the album can die.
Okay, well, that's I would like to get into my thoughts on the album because going into the album, I had expectations, but after hearing Break My Soul, I tore those expectations down because I'm like, okay, obviously this album is not going to be like anything we've heard from Beyonce before.
Yes.
Right.
So I thought that it would be unfair of me to go into this album expecting it to sound like her other albums did. So I went into the album with a fresh mind.
But what did you expect? Right. Without knowing the album, what did you expect was going to come from her?
I expected, before I heard the first single or
before your first single.
Well, I was hoping. I was just hoping that we would get some type of R&B on this album.
I think we did get that.
I think we got it
off
too.
The sofa.
Somewhat. Compared to how she used to do her R&B.
You may be right because it wasn't a lot of songs on there that sounded very R&B. Plastic Off the Sofa was the closest thing I got to R&B off that album.
Of course.
And I love that song. It's a really good album.
I feel like even on the dance songs, there was a lot of R&B incorporated into the album. Even if it wasn't a full R&B song, there was R&B elements, and I could appreciate that. So, I mean, I'm an R&B lover. Everybody knows that. I make R&B music. I listen to R&B music like crazy. So why wouldn't I expect an R&B album from her? But once I heard Break My Soul, and then, you know, she announced that it was going to be a dance album after that, then I knew that I wasn't going to be getting that. And I knew that going into the album, I was going to have an open mind, which I'm glad I did, because honestly, this is like top 3 Beyonce albums for me.
Oh, yeah.
Top 3.
Without a doubt. Top 3.
What are the other 2?
I know I sound like a big hypocrite, but I love the album. I'm just kidding.
I like you.
Let's talk about the other 2, though. Yeah. Like you said, which ones?
So, which ones are what?
4 was my favorite.
Okay.
I like B-Day. B-Day was my favorite album from Beyonce. Did you listen to B-Day?
Wait, give me a song. I told you I'm not a Beyonce stan.
Okay, like Upgrade You, Deja Vu.
Okay.
Deja Vu.
Okay.
You got Green Light.
Irreplaceable.
You can't go wrong.
You got Welcome to Hollywood.
All right. Okay. I can agree with that.
Resentment.
Okay. Ooh. Damn, what else?
There was a lot of songs.
There was a lot of good songs in that album.
Oh, Kitty Cat. Come on now.
Kitty Cat. Ooh, that's my song. That's the album track too.
Come on now. Like, yeah, Beyonce got some really good ones. The whole self-titled album was just superior in my opinion.
Yeah, I would have to put like 4 at my top, and then Beyonce self-titled would have to be somewhere in the top 3, and Renaissance would have to be in the top 3. Okay. Now, I like B-Day, so it would probably be number 4, but it was just on B-Day, I did have just a couple, you know, skips. Not saying it wasn't a good album. Let's get into the Act 2 and the Act 3 of this, because some people are saying that the Act 2 and the 3 is going to be like the visuals and then a tour. And some people are going to say, like, are saying it's going to be more albums. I don't know how she's going to do it, but if she does do a tour, I'm definitely going to be in attendance, because I have a feeling this is her last era.
Don't say that. Nope.
He will not accept that.
Because Madonna is how old and she's still performing.
Listen,
J-Lo is how old
everybody doesn't want to be 90 years old and still performing. But I can see what you're saying.
Look how long it took for Beyonce. Come on now.
I mean, Beyonce is 40.
But she's been in the game since she was younger than 16.
And Michael Jackson has 2 and he stopped at
Where he 50. At? Come on now.
No, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here. What did I sign up for?
You're going somewhere.
No, God.
Maybe not heaven.
It ain't with you.
Where is he at?
No, but yeah, come on now. But but you see how much going into Michael Jackson, like everything that he dealt with. Do you really think? I mean, you know?
But I don't think Beyonce will ever have that much.
There's so much
restriction on her freedom.
She is a mother.
I don't think Beyonce will ever have that much.
Bitch, I'm a mother. You gotta think about it.
No drama.
Because when you think about it, look at the other, like her peers who came up at the same time as her, like Michelle, Kelly, Monica, Brandy, and stuff like that. They are those artists. They taking care of their babies. Yeah. They, you know,
being moms.
They still put out music from time to time, but we don't get albums from them every 2 years like we used to.
But for example, somebody like Kelly Rowland has also admitted that she does not want Beyonce's success. Simply and due to the fact that everything that Beyonce has, the pedestal that she's on, the pressure that is on Beyonce.
People expect that. That's what
some people just can't handle it. And Kelly, I believe she's one of those people that's like, I'm good on that. I'm comfortable where I'm at in life.
Okay, so how long do you think she'll last? You said she's 40 right now.
Beyonce?
Yeah. Like how much?
She will last forever. There would never be the end of Beyonce's career.
Come on now.
We're asking like
how long till she's like done with albums, done with like, you know?
Okay, with that being said, I would say a prediction, because this does feel like a finale type of album.
Exactly. Like it's an iconic.
It feels like one of those last hurrahs. But at the same time, I don't think that's the case. I think that after this album, it'll probably be sprinkles here and there, singles here and there.
Not even.
Just for the fun of it.
I think I would agree with that because I don't think we're ever after this era, and I could be wrong because there's artists who are still, you know, into their 40s who are still releasing albums and promoting them and going on tour.
J-Lo 50,
so
hell.
I'm not saying that, but I feel like for Beyonce particularly, she's given us so much of herself. She's given us so many albums. She's given us so many tours. True. I feel like she's put her own life on the back burner for so many years to entertain us. I feel like she deserves to raise her kids and not have to worry about recording an album. I don't know if that's what she wants to do or not. Maybe she wants to continue to be in the spotlight. I'm just saying that if this is her last era, it would be very fitting and understandable.
But you know what's crazy though? Everybody said that with Lemonade came out, is this Beyonce's last album? It's kind of like, all right, why are we always...
Y'all heard that?
I did.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't hear that.
I did.
I just said she came for revenge, and that's about it.
After Formation World Tour, they were like, this is it.
From who?
Beyonce.
You heard it from Beyonce?
No,
she told
I'm saying people were like conversations that I've had with people after that whole tour and that whole era. They were like, "No, she's not coming back."
See, that's how I know our social medias are different.
It's different.
Because I did not hear none of those conversations.
I hate to say this, but like my Twitter is filled with like fucking stan Twitter people and people that are like obsessed with the music industry, and they always have these like rumors and speculations about people's contracts and like things like that. So like. Yeah, I did see people say that, but of course I didn't personally believe it. Why would I? I'm a Beyonce fan. Why would I believe that?
But I feel like it's just you not willing to accept that.
I'm not willing to accept that this is a human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes whenever we are so conditioned to getting content from something for so long.
You're so used to it.
You're so used to it. Like, hey, you my machine. Like, I need you
Give me more.
Yeah. I'm not done. Even after listening to the whole album, I'm like, I want more.
But you know, she has Parkwood now, so you know she has her own label, she has her own artists and stuff like that. I really think that Beyonce is beyond needing validation. I think she's beyond having to prove herself by putting out a record. I think she's, you know, I think that she's solidified. You can't take away any of her accolades, her success, and I feel like I would respect her if this decided, you know, she's done, then okay.
I don't want it to happen. Literally, I don't want it to happen.
But I feel like you know that she's one of the greatest, and she will continue to be one of the greatest.
Yeah, not a doubt.
But you need to be accepting that will happen.
No.
I feel like you would cry.
I probably would. But like, I won't accept it until she says it out of her own mouth. Until she says after Act 3, whatever Act 3 is, and it's like, all right, y'all, I'm done. Then I'll be like, okay, I'll accept it.
Even at that, I feel
like. But no, I will never accept her career ending because she has never released the Formation World Tour DVD.
Well, you know, maybe she's saving that for like the 10-year anniversary of the tour.
I'm not letting it go.
Artists have done that before.
No, she pissed me off because they said in that interview where they were like, "Oh, why haven't you released it?" Because that whole, you remember that time Prince passed away? Remember Prince was like, "Oh, I want my concerts to be in your memory, not in your photographs or your videos or on some copy, whatever." And Beyonce took inspiration from what he said and applied it to the Formation World Tour. I'm not letting it go. I need the footage. And I know there's footage online. I know there's footage on YouTube. But I need that HD, HBO. I need that movie production type of footage. Something I can really enjoy. Because I didn't get to enjoy it. I didn't get to afford to go to a Formation World Tour. I'm not letting it go.
Well, you know, maybe sometime in the future she trolls us about that tour and that DVD.
Right.
It's out there somewhere. I think she's just waiting on the time to release it. Because just like other artists have waited several decades to
pull out their.
Because like Mariah Carey just released like a couple years ago on all streaming platforms the audio of her tour from the Tokyo Dome in 1996.
Damn.
Exactly. But her fans, we were waiting on that.
Yeah.
And she did it. And
I mean, I went to
over 20 years later. So you never know. I think she has it, but she's waiting, and as she should, because it's going to be more valuable after time.
That is true. You may be right.
Because if you just did this tour, it's fresh in people's minds. You know, like now 10 years later, maybe it's like, okay, I'll drop this, and then now the fans have something to watch.
It's refreshing. It's
feel? How do you feel about this?
I mean, I feel like I'm here for it. I feel like she knows what she's doing. And if she wants to retire when she retires, then I feel like that's not a problem.
So basically what she said was gowns, beautiful gowns.
Y'all are crazy. But so moving on to our next topic.
Yes.
We want to discuss these PPP loans. So if you guys don't know, the government has extended the statute of limitations for basically prosecuting people on these fraudulent PPP loans.
Yep.
The statute of limitations is now 10 years.
Yep.
So the question I want to ask you guys is, do you have sympathy for people who are facing consequences?
Jail.
Jail. Throw away the key.
Jail. Cause come on now, did you not think that you were gonna get caught up? Especially the people that got PPP loans. Like there was some that were like 100,000, 30,000.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, do you know somebody that got a PPP?
I don't, but I can guess. No, like seriously, like let's keep it 100 because we're keeping it real.
Yeah.
All right. So like, say for instance, okay. For instance, I'm about to say something real problematic.
Go ahead and say it, boy.
Why are you 20 years old wearing Balenciagas? You got you a nice whip. I mean, nothing's wrong with having a nice whip in Balenciagas, but like, you ain't got no job. You ain't got no career. We're in a pandemic. No one's working.
Well, what if they have parents that support them?
Fuck that.
I mean...
Well, no, because that's a real thing. Honestly, you have to really take that into consideration. Now, I do know people who are younger than me. If you don't know, I'm still
Come on, let's talk
young.
about it. Let's talk about it.
But we're all in our
enough drinking age.
We're talking about...
We're 21.
Hold on. We're talking about the PPP loan people.
So what I'm saying is there is those people who have achieved those things at that age by getting this PPP loan. But there's also people who they just have parents that support them.
Which is something I understand. And I am 100% with it. Like, for sure. But my black ass...
See, you know what? I would be mad. I would be mad if I was 20 years old walking around with Balenciagas in a nice car and then... Niggas think that I have a PPP loan.
Damn right.
I would be mad.
We in a pandemic.
What if they work for it?
Fuck that. We're in a pandemic. Yeah. Why you driving an Aldi and you 20 years old with no credit? You ain't got no job.
I got my first corporate job at 20.
Fuck that. Bitch, we know you.
There's certain people.
No, I'm talking about certain individuals. We know you.
I feel like you know them. This is personal.
You ain't got, all of a sudden you got a business now. You got a fucking athletic wear line that ain't done nothing in a pandemic, and all of a sudden you wearing Burberry and you got all of this and all of that. Oh, word.
And that's the worst thing. You're not even using that money to your advantage. It's like, flip that. Like, if you're gonna
scam, be a smart scammer.
Exactly.
Here's my thing about the question. I think that if you chose
violence.
If you chose to benefit off of a fucked up situation,
that's
based off of your greed, because money's the root of all evil. Then you deserve whatever you have coming to you. I'm not going to wish nothing on you, but the consequences of your actions are coming around. And I feel like because there was actual small business owners that could not get approved.
That's the worst part.
Let's talk about it.
You have your ass running around here with this $20,000 check, going to the Gala fucking Rio.
Buying Louis Vuitton, Burberry,
Hold on. Let's talk about another thing. I know this is like real nerd talk, but like, for instance, the PlayStation 5, when that first came out in the middle of the pandemic, why all of a sudden you got 10 PS5s in your house selling for $500?
Ready to flip them.
Excuse me? And you telling me you ain't got no PPPs? And you telling me you working your little regular stay-at-home job?
$500 really?
No. The PlayStation 5s were grossing for like $1,200 because of the supply and demand market.
Well, yeah, that was because people were buying them up and reselling them.
Right. So that's
so
like
all of a sudden you get 10.
But people do that. The same thing that they do with sneakers.
Because you can't get your hands on a pair of new Jordans.
Y'all answer my question. How did you end up with 10?
But it's
How did you end up with 10?
I mean, it could be other things in the PPP loan, and we both know.
Exactly.
You know what? Because people have been scamming since the beginning of time.
No, that is true. Before PPP loans.
Before PPP loans, people were scamming.
They just got an advantage now where it's like, okay, you have the
government basically just put a platter in front of them and they said scam. And my thing is, on the Breakfast Club, they were talking about how, like, Charlamagne was talking about how he thinks it was a setup because how did these random people who made fake LLCs get it so quickly when real business owners couldn't get it?
Literally.
So, like, some people
why would you set people up like that too? Where it's like,
some people think it's a conspiracy for the government to get people locked up.
Yeah, because the prison funding ain't there like that.
So they're trying to get people into these jails because let me tell you something. Scamming,
high talk without the high.
Scamming, they put people in jail for like over 10 years for that stuff. They don't, because the IRS don't play. The federal government don't play about their money.
They're gonna get their money. I don't know how long it's gonna take you. Listen,
I know from personal experience. I know people who have been caught up.
That is scary, but that's like you put yourself into that situation. Like, what can you do? Like, you could have done better for yourself as far as like flipping and doing it right. It's like, yeah, I do have a business, or even if you didn't have the business where it was, because it was meant for businesses that were already up and running and stuff. But the up and coming where they're like, you know what, I'm going to use this one, I'm going to flip it, and then I'm going to eventually pay it, then that's understanding. But it's just like, if you went ahead and like used it, you're talking about like what, 10K, 20K, and you went and bought like
10 PS5s and flipped them.
These 10 PS5s.
And you got your Balenciagas and your Yeezys.
And then now you got an eviction notice.
And now your car got repoed.
Exactly. And you,
after
like,
the pandemic,
you had all of this money. Like, let's say you did fraudulently do the shit and you got the check. You have this money, and then not even a year later, you don't have anything to show for it.
Nothing. Now, it's embarrassing.
If you actually did something with that money, you flipped it, you invested it, you was on your grind with that money, and then you made it to a point where you can pay it back. Then it's like, okay, you scammed, but okay, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Be a smart scammer. Be a smart scammer.
150. Like, let's keep it 150%. Yo, I kid you not. The people that materialistic thugs, they may have gotten unemployment. See what I'm saying? I don't know everything. I'm just talking shit because I'm. But you see what I'm saying? Like, as far as PPP loan individuals, you got all this stuff, but now the pandemic has ended, and you broke.
What? Yeah, like
and you trying to get like. Something ain't right. Something wasn't adding up. The math ain't mathing. Somebody ain't doing the math right.
Somebody ain't not doing the math right.
Am I making sense here?
Yes, 100%.
I ain't trying to be hateful. I'm not jealous of a single individual that steals.
Yeah, that's the thing.
At all. This is not jealousy. This is not me mad I ain't get my shot either.
But you know,
if I had the chance, I would have.
Okay, but there's people now that they're like, if there's another pandemic happening.
Oh no, I ain't doing that yet.
And then they're like, oh, best believe. But it's like, what did Biden say? Where it's like, you will be prosecuted. You will get caught. And it's just like, shit.
Shut up, Grandpa.
Baby.
What you gonna do?
Prosecute.
What you gonna do? Who gonna catch me, boo?
Who gonna catch me?
Let me tell you something. I just feel like the government made it way too easy for these people. And I just feel like, honestly...
Is it on us? Is it on them? Like, who is it on?
I think that it's one of those things that, like, your integrity as a person comes into play.
Yes.
Just like the shopping cart thing. Like, when you go shopping, you do your grocery shopping, do you put the cart back or not?
I do.
If you have the opportunity to get some free money, but you know it's going to be fraudulent, will you do it or will you not?
Fuck no. Like, that's so scary. I feel like I'm just a scary bitch. I'm not going to do it. Like, knowing damn well, like, somebody's coming. The government, bro, like, you fucking with the government, you...
Yeah, you is doing
How's
a bit
your QI? Come on, like...
Yeah, you doing a bit much.
Like...
Your QI or IQ?
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was gonna let her slide.
How you gonna let me just skip that? How you gonna do that?
I stumbled in the beginning.
I was just finna edit. Look, I was just finna edit that.
But I ain't going to jail.
Oh my god.
There we go.
But I agree with y'all. So next topic, we're gonna mosey over to this little Doja Cat situation. So if you don't know, if you're living under a rock, I'm lifting up that rock a little bit for you.
Let's do it.
All right. So Doja Cat has just shaved her head and her eyebrows, and she's gone on live. The question, a lot of people have been in her comments. A lot of tweets have been going viral talking about how, like, oh, y'all don't know a cry for help when y'all see one, and da-da-da-da-da, like, somebody go check on her. So the question that I want to ask to you guys is, when somebody drastically changes their appearance, like whether it's dyeing their hair, cutting all their hair off, or gaining or losing a lot of weight, or things like that, drastically changing their appearance, is that a cry for help, or does that person need to be checked on, or what do you guys think?
Let's talk about how she had a few issues, like how long ago was it?
Maybe like a couple of months ago.
With what's his name?
Oh, from Stranger Things?
Yes. She had issues with that, and then you saw how much she was getting bullied.
Wait, what happened with that?
Well, she slid into that boy DMs to ask about the cast member if she was trying to shoot her shot at that cast member, but didn't have his information, so she slid into this boy DMs. The boy is only like 17.
Yeah. You got to think about the age, and then
so she was getting a lot of backlash because that boy ended up screenshotting the text messages and blasting her. Well, I don't know if you want to call it blasting, because I don't think he did it maliciously,
not, at all.
But he released the screenshots of his conversation with Doja Cat.
So one, that's really fucked up. Like, let's talk about that. It's fucked up, but I feel like the way she went about things, where it's just like, it almost felt like she was she was really hurt about it. Like, she was on TikTok saying like, you guys, this and this and that. Like, you could tell that really fucked her up.
Did she call him a snake?
Yes, a snake. And come on, you're talking about like a 17. How old is she?
26.
You're calling us like, it's like there's a balance of two, like, maturity, how you handle certain things, maturity. And the thing is, it's like, obviously, like, they're still maturing to do or whatever. But like, you got to think about how long ago that was. And then I don't know where this happens. There could have been a lot of things that she has, because Doja has a history
that I don't like to talk about, because I love Doja Cat.
Yeah, I know, but she has a history, so it's just like, I feel like, honestly, she needs to be checked on. She needs to be checked on.
I'm gonna be honest. As like somebody that's been listening to Doja Cat since her SoundCloud days, there has been a complete shift in how she looks. Ooh. Yeah. There has been a shift in how she looks and how she carries herself, and of course, age does come with that. We're
age ain't nothing but a number. Is it?
All right, but yeah, we are aging.
I thought we was finna all do an acapella real quick. Don't get me started.
We are aging, and we are maturing at the same time, and we're not going to be the same people we were 10 years ago. So I do feel like...
But you said maturing?
Maturing, yeah.
Okay. I was trying to figure out where was the mature when she said what she said.
I just think that Doja Cat, her whole personality is being a troll.
And that's the thing. That's what she's known for.
Hold on. Whenever people say stuff like, "Oh, I'm fine," stop analyzing my life.
But she doesn't say that.
She did. She said it on live the other day. She was like, "Guys, quit talking about me shaving my head and my eyebrows. I'm okay. I'm fine." No, that is weird. That is not okay.
I feel like she skips over that and she makes these like, I'm sorry,
quirky,
cringy sometimes.
Yeah.
There's sometimes cringy where it's just like, what is going on with you? Like, some people think that it's, oh my God, because they're such a Doja Cat stan that it's just like, they don't understand that they're so blinded by.
I don't like the fans. So go ahead.
No, I'm saying, no, go. It was like, because it's kind of like Beyonce stan.
You trying to fight?
Yeah.
Look, I just kind of feel like, I think that it's not for us to necessarily like be all up in her business. I know we're gonna do that because whether you're a fan or not, you're somebody who is looking at this famous person, and we all have our opinions. But I think that the people in her personal life should, like, I don't want to say have an intervention or run to her house. I think that they should just tune in a little bit more with her, maybe be a little bit more intentional about their relationships with her, so that, if there is a problem, that they can see that, because that's something drastic. Not only did she shave her head, she shaved her eyebrows. So, I mean, honestly, for me,
the eyebrows. It was the eyebrows. Like, why the eyebrows?
And then she was taking these pictures with all these like poses where she was doing this, and then she was scrunching up her head and making all these faces.
Look good like this.
Honestly, like, I'm not trying to compare it to Britney Spears or anybody else who shaved their head, but what I'm saying is that sometimes it is like
a cry for help.
A cry for help, or if not even a cry for help, but a cry for maybe this person is going through something right now. Because honestly, for me, I grew my hair out for 6 years. Last year, I went through a breakup, cut all of my hair off.
So you know from experience, it's like something happened that you're like, okay, I needed to do this.
Exactly. So. And my whole look changed. Everybody in my life was extremely surprised that I cut my hair off because my whole identity was
like
my
hair. How big? How long was it?
Hair. That's crazy.
It was like down here, like my shoulders, and I would always wear them in braids.
No.
See, that just literally unlocked the memory of how I met you.
I would have been like, you fucking bitch, you made me cut my hair.
I forgot.
So you met me. I had hair.
Damn.
So
minute.
That's a thing where like, you know, you go through a breakup and you do a drastic change. Like you go from like black hair to red hair. You know, it's just like that's a thing where it's just like
people. Have you ever done that?
I have cut my hair short and I have gone red. Usually when people say they go red, they don't go back to like their exes. But it was because of a relationship. Right. And that doesn't necessarily have to mean that, you know, she's going through something because she's not really open about that part. Like, even though she's been caught a few times, like, live, you know. Yeah. But I feel like there is something happening where it's just like, that's like the easiest thing to do. It's like, I'm going to do this.
To get like, you think it's like attention or shock value?
Is it really though? I feel like she's genuinely like just doing it just because she...
I don't think I would say it's for shock value.
Yeah, she already has shock value with what
she's Doja Cat.
Yeah.
She doesn't need...
Exactly.
She doesn't need that. Like, she's literally one of the biggest superstars of our time right now.
Which
like, she's up there with Drake. She's up there with Ariana Grande, Beyonce. Like, she
is one of those bitches.
She does not need to shave her head to get clout.
Exactly.
So my thing is, you know, I think that when it comes to somebody doing something drastic to change the way they look, that most of the time, whether or not they let you in on it, there's something that might be going on the inside. Because a lot of people didn't even know that I was in a relationship. A lot of people didn't know, of course, that I had a breakup.
I didn't even.
So when I shaved my head, like, and all my hair was gone, a lot of people were like, "Oh, I love your new look," and da-da-da-da-da.
You don't know I'm going through depression, bitch.
I was really going through depression too. Like, we ain't gonna get into it, but I was really like low point. You know what I'm saying?
No,
so that's what I'm saying. Like, so, like, check on people. Just check, you know, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, I know you changed your look, so I'm finna check on you.
Yeah, tell me
like,
about what's been going on.
I would phrase it as like we just catching up, like homeboys as general. I just talked to a homeboy today where, you know, I found out that he was going, you know, through some stuff right now. Not like even trying to pry, but just because I was asking, like, you know, how have you been? Like, you know, what's been new since the last time we talked and stuff like that. Sometimes people just need you to check in.
And that changes so much. That makes you think that it's like, you know, this person cares about me, which can change so much, like, during that time.
I think I'm blessed to have friends that care. You know what I mean? And
cheers to friendship.
Cheers
to friendship.
I just want to say, like, you know, always cherish the people that are around you. You never know when life can end. Life is very short.
Oh, yes. Agreed.
Not to get personal, but always check on your people.
Always check on your
people.
And I just think that, you know, like, I just think that something changing in someone's appearance is an indicator that they might be going through something. So just, you know, make sure that you are loving and accepting to them during that time.
Dope.
So to move on, because the time went by so fast. We only have about 15 minutes left.
Damn.
So Nicki Minaj has been announced as the recipient of the Vanguard award.
Yeah.
For the VMAs this year. It has been announced. It has been solidified. And you know, she will be giving her Vanguard performance, and she will be receiving the award this year. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
When is this again?
The VMAs is later this month.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's this month.
So it's this month?
Is it this month or is it next month?
I don't watch the VMAs.
I love
Same.
It.
I watch the BET Awards and the Soul Train Awards. That's it. in the Grammys.
I fell in love with the VMAs when remember Lady Gaga was bleeding.
With that meat dress?
No. Paparazzi. I'm your biggest.
That was a while back.
She started bleeding. As a kid, I was like, I love this award show forever.
So you've been watching it
Never
since
stopped
then.
watching it. Never stopped watching the VMAs.
I don't really watch it like that. Like you said, I watch BET, but like I watch the Latino ones. But as far as that one, I don't know. So would I watch it? I feel like I would watch it to see what she does.
VMAs is always centered around shock value. Lady Gaga bleeding. Gaga in the meat dress. Kanye going up stage and saying,
so
Beyonce
you think Nicki Minaj getting the award is for shock value?
No. I think that there is some level of shock value that is going to be in the performance in the night.
What would be the shock value?
I think Nicki Minaj is beyond her years of needing shock value.
She don't need shock value, but I'm saying it's going to happen.
But what could she possibly do? What could she do?
You never know. You never know.
You don't even know.
This is the same girl that got on stage and was like.
Now that's a good song, but
no, but she deserves it. She really deserves the award. Some people. I was on Facebook, right, debating with people about her being the recipient of this award.
Okay.
Because it's labeled the Michael Jackson Vanguard Award. Yeah. They feel like, oh, well, she don't need to be compared to Michael. I'm like, well, okay. Well, let's talk about how Missy Elliott got the award. Let's talk about how Jennifer Lopez got it. Let's talk about how Justin Timberlake got it.
Do you hear the people? I mean, I get it, but they're kind of all up there. Like they're all up there. Who is not? Well, Justin, I don't know. J-Lo. Ree. Okay. So who do you
got it? She deserved it.
Yeah. Though. So, but who do you see? But you. Like nothing. You said Rihanna got it, but like with Nicki, it's like we're kind of backtracking.
No, you know what? I haven't given an opinion on it yet.
Yeah, you're right.
What I will say is that
she deserves it.
Nicki Minaj, has been someone who has came into the game and she has really
Young Money raised me.
She has really pushed not only the genre forward, but I really feel like she's paved the way for so many people. I feel like the, rappers from back in the day, like Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown and Lisa Left Eye Lopez and people like that, they, also made it possible. But Nicki Minaj really took the baton and moved it forward as well. You can't discredit her.
At all.
There was several years in a row where Nicki Minaj was the only female rapper winning awards.
Yep. Iconic. She is iconic. She will forever be iconic. So it's like, where do you feel that she wouldn't deserve it?
Exactly.
I think she deserves it. I think that
where are people like backtracking where it's just like
it's because it's this year. Maybe they think that another act deserves it this year, particularly.
But who do you think? Who? Because
maybe Beyonce.
Beyonce already got it in 2016.
She got it.
She got it in 2016.
You know what she did? She did.
So I was just watching
that performance. This is why I watched the VMAs.
I don't watch the VMAs. I really don't watch the VMAs because that's a
Beyonce. All of your fans. If it wasn't for Nicki, who are they gonna give it to? Ariana Grande? No. She don't have that type of track record.
She has a track record. Yeah. The only thing that I will say about Ariana Grande is that she just hasn't been in the game long enough. She hasn't been in the game at least 10 years.
She's going to get it. Ariana's going to get it.
I will never discredit her.
Doja Cat will get it.
Homegirl, Ariana Grande, she deserves everything in due time.
Yes.
That is, I feel like she is an icon in the making. Mm-hmm. Like people years and years from now are going to talk about Ariana Grande.
Like she can.
Homegirl can sing her face off. Ariana Grande is talented.
When she impersonates other people, like come on now.
So
what?
I was going to say back to Nicki. She deserves it.
Okay.
You know what? Well, that's your opinion.
Starting from the Young Money,
I think she does too.
The come up mixtapes to now.
She just. I will say that Nicki.
She deserves her flowers.
I feel like Nicki deserves her flowers. She has paved the way for other people who have came after her. I think that Nicki Minaj has put in so much like blood, sweat, and tears into this industry. She's given so much of herself. And I feel like she deserves to be rewarded for that.
I 100% agree.
Not to take away from Nicki Minaj's moment. Yo,
Kanye.
You know what would be really... Kanye already got it.
No, but you're like... I know that Nicki...
No, it would be dope if Jay-Z got it.
Another conversation for another
day. Silence is
no, it'll be dope if Jay-Z got it.
Like, moving on to our next topic, just because we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
So, Steve Harvey made a tweet recently that has been getting a lot of attention. He said, what advice would you give to a person who is about to get into a new relationship? So, this is really like a topic that I want to get into, to end things out. So what do you guys think? If it, like, let's say your best friend or somebody is about to get into a new relationship, based off of your experience, what advice would you give to them?
You want to go first?
Sure. Because my track record is, no, I'm kidding. No. I would say that never be afraid to be yourself. Never be afraid to speak your mind. Sometimes when people are in relationships, they can be like, oh, well, if I say this, maybe he or she is going to get mad at me and probably break up with me due to like the fact that they've had so much rejection.
Listen. Okay.
Seriously, be yourself. Never be afraid to speak your mind. And also set standards for yourself. Sometimes people get in a relationship and do things that they were not morally supposed to do.
Like, you lose yourself in the relationship. Learn how to self-love yourself. Like, learn how to be okay without that person. It's like, you have your own life. Like, understand that it's okay for you to miss that person, and let it just flow. Like,
speak on this, sis.
Like, let it flow. And I feel like a lot of people lose themselves when they get into a relationship, and they should really work on themselves and figure out, like, is this really what I want?
Right.
So
please.
I was told
that brava.
I was told, Jailan, you're a really nice guy.
Oh.
But you have to love yourself before you love anybody else.
And
I did not understand that for the longest, because I was like, okay, if I'm this perfect dude, I got this.
What I got?
Why am I still not where I want to be with this person?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't come from within.
Exactly.
It was like I was giving it on the outside.
Yeah.
But from the outside perspective, looking at me, it was like, nah, he doing this.
Work on yourself before you can work on another.
He's doing this to cope with this or to benefit from this.
Mm-hmm.
He's not authentically being himself. So now, single me, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna be myself.
I'm
doing what I want to.
And that, I feel like that's the same thing that I had to learn, because I used to always hear that, and I used to think that I was doing that. I said, well, I love myself. Like, I'm like,
I know I got it. I'm that person.
But I was looking on in the mirror and saying, I like what I see.
Mm-hmm.
But loving yourself is not just loving what you see in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Loving yourself is loving that person who is at their lowest point, who is laying in the bed and don't want to get up, and who is just at their lowest point. That's loving yourself. When you see yourself the way nobody else sees you, and knowing that you still find value in yourself. I know what I'm worth. I know the value that I would bring to any situation, whether it's with a relationship, a friendship, corporate America, whatever job that you have. You know your worth. You know the way that you want to be treated, the way you deserve to be treated. That's what matters, that you do not lose that. Just like you were saying, you never want to lose yourself when it comes to a relationship, because that's easy to happen. Because it's not like a light switch.
Yeah, you focus so much on the other person where it's like, I need to please this person.
Period.
Bitch, self-worth, ho.
Right.
Self-worth.
Another thing, don't rush yourself either. Don't look on the outside and be like, oh my God, they're in a relationship, I have to be in a relationship. Somebody like me, I'm 24 years old. I turned 24 in April. It was like I would be 23, 22, 21, trying to get into a relationship. Like, what are you doing?
Man.
What are you slow down, dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy your life. Enjoy the people around you.
If it is, the time that you feel like you want to get into a relationship, then I wouldn't say that because of your age you should hold it back.
Right.
But what I would say is that recognize what you have. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're 23 years old, own that. Like, I'm 23, for example. own that. I'm 23. I have a lot of life to see. I have a lot to experience. The relationship that I was in and the situationships I was in prior to that, I know so much more now at 23 than I ever even thought I knew then. So right now, I'll just keep it real. Like, I can't really see myself being in a relationship because I'm like, I have so much to see, so much
enjoy your fucking life. Like, enjoy your fucking life.
I think it should all flow naturally. If you have to sit here and question if a person loves you, that probably ain't it for you.
Yeah, if you have to question if they like you, where it's just like, hot and cold. No, they don't. They don't.
Because let me tell you something. Somebody that you're meant to be with, somebody that you're supposed to be with, is not gonna have you up at midnight wondering where they're at. Do they love you? Why they didn't text you back? Why they're MIA? I promise you, somebody that you're meant to be with is not gonna have you like that. I used to be like that. If you're watching or listening and somebody is having you contemplating whether or not you should be in that relationship or not, I'm gonna sit here and tell you right now, you don't need to be in it. And you
probably not the one, bitch.
You're not gonna listen to me. You're not gonna listen to me because I didn't listen to anybody that told me that either. But let me tell you something. You gonna have to learn it one day, and you gonna learn it for yourself, and it's gonna be the hard way because you're not listening to anybody in your life.
It's gonna hurt, and nobody ever does.
I thank my friend to this day for telling me that. You don't know why? Because then I discovered self-love. If I had to question it, it wasn't
at all. Like, don't ever question if somebody fucks with you like that. Like,
don't ever.
That is when I found out the meaning of loving yourself.
And it's not even about reassurance where it's just like, I need you to know that I want you, but it's just like the way that they're acting, the way that they're texting, the way that they're vibing. It's like, bitch, I know you don't want me. And you know what? I'm going to cut you off. And whenever you cut them off, they're like, oh shit. Yeah, bitch. What?
Exactly.
You lost a good thing.
People try to play with you because they want to know how far they can go. They want to know what their limits are with you. If I treat them this way, will they still be here? Okay, yeah. So I can continue to treat them like trash because the last time I treated them like trash, they were still here.
Do you hear me?
They were still here. There was no consequence for me when I treated them this way. So that, you know what you're teaching them? You're teaching them it's okay for me to treat them this way because nothing happened last time I did it.
Do you hear that? Say it louder for the people in the back.
Bam.
I'm just saying, look, I only been in one official relationship, many situationships before that.
Situationships, don't fucking do them. Do not fucking do situationships. I don't give a fuck what you... Why are you laughing?
Wait, I'm not. Hold on. Wait a goddamn minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
You smirking over there like, don't do that shit.
Let's not do that. Hold on. Give me a minute. I need to breathe.
Pour me up. Because, like, you cannot sit there and do that shit because it only ends in heartbreak.
No, seriously.
Because let me tell you, one person in that situationship, and I'm speaking from experience.
Because I know what you're going to say.
One person is going to end up catching more feelings than the other person. And then it's going to be like, one person is going to be like, okay, well, maybe we should be official. And then the other person is going to be like, nah. So then somebody's going to end up being hurt at the end.
And it's going to be you, bitch. You going to be hurt.
It's going to be you. So basically, I hate that love has become this competition of how do I not get hurt? Or how do I make sure they're hurt before I'm hurt? It shouldn't be that. And I'm going to just say this last note to end out because we only have very limited time left. But if you're getting into a relationship, the main point is to make sure that you stay true to yourself.
Yes.
That you make sure that whatever it is that you feel inside, that gut feeling, do not ever let anybody gaslight you, be a narcissist, and make you believe that your gut feeling is incorrect. You have that for a reason.
Intuition, bitch.
Intuition. So whatever you're feeling, make sure you base your decisions based off of that. Honestly, it's better to think with your mind rather than your heart in some situations because it'll prevent you from hurt in the future down the line. It might feel good in the moment. You might be in love, and not even in love, but infatuated. Infatuation can last for months. That honeymoon phase. So make sure that once that infatuation wears off, that you still want them. So just make sure that you are cautious of your own self and your feelings. Because let me tell you something, nobody's going to be cautious of that for you.
You preaching to the choir.
So I just want to thank you guys so much for coming on today. Thank you to Jailan and Selena for joining us. Their information for social media will be down in the bio. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We will be back in the next couple weeks.
I just want to say before we cut this off officially, thank you very much for having us on here. It's been a true blast. I've never in my life would have thought I would have been in this space with you and you kicking it, talking shit, drinking, having a good time.
It was a moment. I enjoyed it, so I appreciate you. Cheers to good friends.
Cheers
to that.